Power is an omnipresent force shaping every facet of our lives, quietly influencing the way relationships unfold, careers advance or falter, and entire societies organize themselves. Despite its profound impact, many avoid discussing power openly often because it's associated with manipulation, control, or even something unsavory. Yet, understanding power is essential if we want to navigate the complex human world effectively. Robert Greene's seminal work, The 48 Laws of Power, bravely brings this topic out into the open. It offers a candid, unfiltered exploration of power's dynamics, how it operates, how it's wielded, and how individuals can learn to recognize and master its subtle currents. Greene's book distills centuries of political, military, and social wisdom into concise laws, illustrated with fascinating historical examples that reveal the timeless nature of power struggles. In this video, we'll explore some of the most compelling laws from Greene's work, unpacking their meaning, showing how they have played out in history, and discussing practical lessons for modern life. Whether you want to better understand office politics, social dynamics, or leadership challenges, these insights will prove invaluable. Greene opens with what might be the most foundational rule: never outshine the master. This law highlights a psychological truth about power hierarchies. Those in authority need to feel secure in their superiority. When you shine too brightly or demonstrate your brilliance too openly, you risk triggering their insecurity, envy, or resentment. Throughout history, this has caused many talented individuals to fall from grace. For example, at the court of King Louis XIV of France, courtiers who appeared too competent or threatened the king's aura of absolute power were swiftly removed or undermined. Louis, known as the Sun King, carefully managed his image as the center of light and authority. Anyone eclipsing his radiance became a liability. This law reminds us to practice tact, humility, and emotional intelligence in our relationships with those above us. It doesn't mean hiding your abilities, but rather managing how and when you reveal them. By making your superiors feel valued and secure, you create allies instead of rivals. In a modern workplace, this might mean giving credit to your manager publicly, avoiding overt displays of superiority in meetings, or presenting ideas as collaborative suggestions rather than challenges to authority. The essence is respect for the hierarchy while subtly advancing your position. While transparency is often touted as a virtue, Greene's Law 3 advises the opposite: conceal your intentions. Revealing your plans too openly invites interference, sabotage, or premature opposition. Keeping your goals under wraps maintains an advantage by preserving the element of surprise. Military strategists have long understood this principle. During campaigns, generals use feints, false retreats, and misinformation to mislead opponents, forcing them to waste resources and reveal weaknesses. The famous Trojan horse from Greek mythology is a legendary example of concealment that led to victory. In everyday life, this law encouraged discretion. Whether negotiating a deal, planning a career move, or navigating social circles, sharing your plans too soon risks giving others the chance to derail them. It also allows you the flexibility to adapt as situations evolve without being locked into a publicly declared course. But concealing intentions doesn't mean deceit or dishonesty. It's about being strategic in what you share, understanding that not all information is yours to give freely. It's a protective measure in a competitive world. In today's noisy, crowded world, visibility is everything. Greene's Law 6, court attention at all costs, underscores that to wield influence, you must first be noticed. In a sea of distractions, blending in means invisibility, and invisibility means powerlessness. Historical figures like P.T. Barnum, the master showman of the 19th century, exemplified this law. Barnum used bold publicity stunts and sensationalism to captivate the public's imagination, ensuring his name and his circus were always in the spotlight. His philosophy was simple: without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing. In the modern era, this translates into personal branding, social media presence, and savvy media management. Public figures, entrepreneurs, and influencers all understand that maintaining attention is critical to shaping narratives and commanding authority. However, there's a fine line to walk. Attention must align with your objectives and values. Negative publicity or constant controversy can damage credibility and backfire. The key is to create compelling, authentic visibility that enhances your goals rather than undermines them. This law may sound ruthless: crush your enemy totally. but green argues that half measures invite future threats. Leaving an adversary wounded but alive means you risk retaliation or prolonged conflict later. Historically, incomplete victories often resulted in drawn-out wars and instability. Napoleon's failure to decisively defeat certain enemies led to coalitions forming against him. In contrast, successful conquerors understood the necessity of finality, no loose ends. In professional or personal disputes, this principle can translate into decisive conflict resolution. Rather than leaving problems simmering, address issues thoroughly to prevent them from re-emerging. This doesn't mean cruelty or unethical behavior, but rather the wisdom of closing chapters fully. The lesson is clear: unresolved conflicts are like open wounds. The more decisively you act, the better positioned you are for future peace and stability. This insight allows for more effective persuasion and relationship building. For instance, knowing a colleague's ambition can help you frame proposals in a way that appeals to their goals. Understanding someone's insecurities might explain their behavior and open doors for empathy. But this law is not about manipulation for selfish gain. Instead, it's about empathetic insight, recognizing what matters to others so you can engage authentically and find mutually beneficial solutions. Influence, after all, is a two-way street. Mastering this law means honing observation skills, listening deeply, and being curious about others' motivations and stories. It's a cornerstone of emotional intelligence and social skill. The 48 Laws of Power provides a lens to understand the subtle and often hidden dynamics of influence, authority, and social interaction. Some laws may seem Machiavellian or cynical, but they reflect real-world human behavior and historic patterns that persist. The true value lies not in blindly applying these laws as rigid rules, but in using them as tools to increase awareness, sharpen your judgment, and navigate complex social landscapes with greater intentionality. Remember, the ethical application of power depends on context, values, and self-awareness. Power can be a force for positive leadership, protection, and growth when wielded wisely. If you found this exploration insightful, consider subscribing to Echoes of Insight for more deep dives into influential works that shape our understanding of human nature and success.